Okay, hi, my name is Allie. I'm also known as Twill Distilled. I am a nerdcore rapper, producer, and singer. We do a lot of nerdcore hip hop. I'm also in the group Wreck the System. We are a local nerdcore hip hop group. So Magfest is literally in my backyard. I'm from the area. I traveled from Woodbridge to be here this weekend, and the rest of my crew came from Riverdale. So pretty local, like 30-minute drive. This is our 5th year here at Magfest, and it's insane to think it's been 5 years because it does not feel like it's been 5 years, but 5 years. So this is actually our first year we haven't had any performances, which is a little bit nice because usually we are so busy we don't get to go see every show, or we didn't get to go to every event or party. So I'll be partaking in a karaoke contest, but other than that, we are not performing this year. But every year previously we were on main stage last year. Oh my gosh, main stage was the biggest performance we had ever had at the time. Main stage Magfest is the 2nd biggest performance we've ever done other than Dragon Con. Preparing for main stage Magfest was a beast in its own. We started practices 2-3 months in advance. Usually we only do about 2 weeks of practices for shows. We rented out a dance studio, we had insane choreography. I made us all like costumes, like everybody had individual costumes. And I mean, we just went out and performed our little hearts out. Like we've been coming to Magfest for so long, we thought we really knew like all the ins and outs. But when you're on main stage, it's a totally different beast. But it is a night, it is a performance I will never forget. And for anybody who's aspiring to be on main stage Magfest, I always say you should go for it, because we had only been a group for 3 years at that point when we got main stage. So anything is possible with the dedication and the work. So I'm actually going to tell a funny story that kind of like plays into that. So they ask you when you're getting ready for main stage, like the stage crew and staff, they're like, you know, what do you want the setup and layout of your stage to be? And if you've ever seen a Wreck the System show, you know that it is an insane show. We are a nerdcore hip hop group. We run around, there's a lot of choreography, there's dancing, there's jumping, there's tons of running. So when we were talking to stage staff, we were like, you know, please make the stage as clear as possible. We don't want anything, just flat stage so we can run and dance and all this stuff. And we get behind stage, you know, 5-10 minutes before we're supposed to go on, and there is a platform in the middle of the stage. And we have been practicing for 2-3 months at this point, thinking that we're getting an entirely flat stage to perform on. Well, it's now a stage with a like raised platform, dead set in the middle of the stage. So we are like kind of like freaking out, like, oh my god, what do we do? Like, this is not. And we literally had to re-choreograph the entire set 5 minutes before we went on stage. We like huddled up and we're like, okay, this song, you're up on the platform, this song, you two down on the ground, blah blah blah, like boom boom boom. So if I could give myself an advice, it would be to maybe have a few other backup plans, because sometimes what you ask for you don't always get. Thankfully, it went really, really well. Nobody had any clue that we had not practiced like that, and we pulled it off somehow. It was the magic of Magfest. So, but that's what I would tell myself. You are not going to get a flat stage, and you need to prepare for a platform. Well, I grew up in the area, so, and I've always gone to conventions. I've been going to conventions since I was like 5. Started off going to sci-fi cons, and then when I got into middle school, I started going to anime cons. So I think when you're in the con scene in general, obviously you hear about different conventions. So I've known about Magfest since I was a teenager. And funny enough, the former CFO, Nick Marinelli, was in choir with my sister in high school. So I also knew about it, like not only from the con scene, but I knew Mag staff in general. And when you're just kind of in the con circle, that's how you find out. So I've known about it for a long time, but it didn't start coming until 5 years ago. Gosh, I think it's a tie. So I think, obviously, the Magfest when we performed on main stage is like super special and near and dear to my heart, because like it was like 3-4 years of really, really hard work, and it was a dream of ours, and it was like this huge accomplishment, and it just felt like amazing. Like the whole weekend I just felt like a superstar. It was really cool. But the first Magfest I ever went to was actually really phenomenal as well. It was the first time ever my group had performed together as a group. It was my first Magfest, and like, you know, getting your Magfest cherry popped, it's just an ordeal in itself. My bandmate and I went to the same first Magfest ever, and it was his first convention he had ever been to, period. So, you know, getting to like see him experience like the convention scene for the first time, it's kind of like watching a child through their eyes experience something for the first time. The first Magfest we all went to as a group inspired our first group album, so like it's so hard to pick one because they're both so special. So I have to give props where props are due. Osiris Green came up with a concept. That was his concept from the get-go, and he literally, and he will say this, he won't ever deny it, Magfest changed not only all of our lives, but it specifically changed Osiris's life. Osiris always wanted to come to nerd events, he's always wanted to go to conventions, and this was the first one he finally went to. So I think it really inspired him, and in Wreck the System, we're always saying, you know, be who you are without fear, but we're constantly trying to figure out how to blend two cultures of mainstream hip-hop and nerd culture, and we call it the crossover. So really, Osiris was very, very inspired by Magfest, and he wanted to figure out how to cross it over. Like, how do we make a really fire nerdcore album, but also make it so anybody who isn't in the nerd scene can listen to it and appreciate it. So, you know, when we thought about it, we're like, okay, like, let's talk about somebody's first time going to a con, because if you've never been to a con before, then this is like a fun story you get to follow. And if you have been to a con before, it's kind of like reliving your first time going to a con, which is also an amazing experience in itself. And, you know, we sat down and we had beats and we're like, okay, like, what do we want to talk about? What are the things, you know, what are the things you experience at the con? So like we opened up with culture shock, which is just like, if you've never been to a convention before, especially a convention as big as Magfest, it is culture shock. I mean, it's just like, you're totally overwhelmed, and the whole album follows things to like, oh, we're going to the rave, and we have a hotel party, and some people like to partake in smoking the devil's lettuce, so, you know, we have a song about that on there, and we even, you know, wrap up the album about post-con depression. So we really just wanted to make like a fire album that no matter if you were a nerd or just a hip-hop head, you would enjoy and you would understand like a little bit more about us and the things we do.
That whole album sounded to me like they're going to Magfest.
Yeah, we have said it time and time again, that album is a Magfest album. When we came out with the album, I mean, the first like single we ever did as a group was called Do the Roar, which is like, it's the Magfest homecoming song. Like, if you're here, you're gonna do the Colossus Roar. And then like, there is just so much love and culture at Magfest in itself. So like, we really wanted to incorporate that sound, but I also think it helps that we are local. So like, that local kind of hip hop sound was not hard to captivate because we do live here. So, but I don't know, Osiris did a lot of the beat selection. He was a great head producer for that project. But yeah, it's like, I feel like if I was going to make an album about Otakon, it would sound completely different than like a Magfest album. So, but you know, Magfest really is about video games, video game music, so it kind of helped to curate the sound as well, because there's a very distinct difference between a video game kind of song and an anime kind of song. Oh, okay, this one's easy. So we are really good friends with a guy named Marcus. He goes by Richie Branson, and Richie had throat cancer and was really sick for a while, and he's in remission. He has gotten better, and the year he went into remission was the year he came and did main stage Magfest, and it was his first Magfest ever. And like, he had just really been through the ringer Like, he was having a hard time in his personal life. He had cancer, you know, he was sick, medical bills up the wazoo, and like that performance really was like a pivotal experience for him. That's when his life started to turn around and change. So many things not just led from Magfest, but like that was really the turning point. And so to see my friend who had been really, really struggling and was just doing his best to kick ass, comes to Mainstage Magfest to perform. His doctors told him he really shouldn't be performing because he's still recovering from surgery. Gives like one of the best performances I've ever seen him perform. And like, you know, all of our friends are there, and like he's bringing up our friends on stage, and they're just performing together. So really, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you because you just kicked cancer's ass and you're up here living your dream, doing the thing. But he also has a song with Megaran, which is my favorite song from Megaran and Richie Branson, which is OP for Overpowered. And they performed it live. And I literally have a video of the song, and the whole room just screaming, jumping, like the hypest I've ever seen a crowd at Magfest get. Like the literal illest. It was so sick. So like we're all there, all this energy, all this love, just really, we're just there for Richie, and we're like, we're just so happy you're alive, and we're just so happy that you were able to do your thing because we love you. It was, one of the best shows I've ever seen, period. Hell yeah! You know, I think a lot of people thought we weren't gonna come this year because we were not performing. And, you know, even if you're not performing, even if you're just somebody who likes to go to a convention, it's a good convention to go to. You're always gonna make friends, you're always gonna have a good time. So like, this is always on my radar. I always have to go to Magfest. I think this is the first thing that comes to my head. I think the first thing I would compare Magfest to is one of the original Final Fantasy RPGs. When you still have like the class system, you know, you have your fighter, you got your black mage, your red mage, your white mage, your thief, all of that, right? Because like you have all these different classes, right? And to me, that is what Magfest is, right? You've got all these different types of people. You've got people who are mostly here for the video game music. You've got people here who are indie game developers. You've got people here who are vendors, artists, cosplayers, casual con goers, serious con goers, right? And if you think about it, it's all these different types of people, but we're all coming together to form this really awesome, huge party, pun intended. And, you know, we're here to really just unite and have a good common goal. And thankfully, that's not like trying to take down Kafka or Sephiroth or anything like that, but like we're just here to have a good time, party up together, link up together, lift each other up, and accomplish having a really great weekend. So that's what I would think about. It's just the unity of so many different types of people coming together to do the same thing. Sure, yeah, I'll always promote. So like I said, my name is Twill Distilled. It's like T-Will, but all together, space distilled, like vodka. If you're coming to Magfest, I know you know how to spell distilled. I know you're drinking vodka. I'm a dirty pop, hip hop artist. I'm local to the DC area. If you Google me, I guarantee you will find me. All my music's on all streaming services, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, all that jazz. I'm on there. Please come find me on Facebook and like me. Additionally, I am part of the group called Wreck the System. So Wreck, like Wreck-It Ralph, I hope you know how to spell the word the, and system, it's plain spelling, nothing fancy, Wreck space the space system. Google us. Again, that music is also on all streaming services, Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, everything. We are so online, like we're online all the time, so please drop us a comment, stream us, you know, tweet at us. We love talking to you guys. We don't have any local shows coming up right now, but we will probably be at PAX East, and we're going to South by Southwest. So if you're going to be at PAX East or you're going to be in Texas at South by Southwest, let us know. We would love to link up and hang out with you and, you know, tell me where to party at. That's it.
So I am Dylan. My cosplay is Goro Majima from Yakuza. He's kind of a anti-hero from a game about like Japanese mafia, and I am primarily a musician. I play guitar. Picked up cosplay thanks to Persona 5. I thought Joe was really cool, and I related a lot to his high school story. And I also, we're at Magfest, I staff here. And I just really love video game music, video games, and just Magfest is awesome. Like 10, 15 minutes. This is year 5. This is my 5th year staffing here at Magfest. It feels like a blur now. It's great. Everybody feels like family. The first year I was here, I was kind of just lobby hoteling the convention, and like barely got sleep. And one of the staffers one day was like, "Oh man, dude, go get some sleep." And like I was like supposed to be on a shift, and at that point it's just like, "You're good." Like everyone just like on staff feels like family. Yeah, it's just like fun, like seeing like where everyone's coming from. Like I was just at a museum, and everyone's like, "Oh, I also tried it here, tried it there," and I've been in consoles and mostly been in the music departments with the jam clinic, jam space. So there's just like when you apply for like places to work, you can just choose anywhere. I found out about Magfest through after a few years after high school. I was like dove deep into like the YouTube video game cover community, and Emily Jules had announced he was performing at Magfest. I don't really know about it. I knew about like Otakon like first, like during high school, but I didn't know Magfest until a while later. I think it's just like really cool that you can just go to the jam space, sign up, and perform. I think that's really cool.
You don't really get that anywhere else.
Yeah, for sure. Does it have to be one?
You can pick 2 or 3, that's fine.
I think it's a tie between Super Soul Bros, one of the bands that like pretty much hear every year. During their release party for their Motherload album, that's the Earthbound cover album, I was just like, I picked up a shift for that, and it's like, okay, there's like Super Soul Bros pretty much runs that event anyway, so I'm like, okay, easy shift. And like I don't know what he was doing, but Alex, the saxophonist, like went off I think he had some like nose thing going on, and like they were in front discussing the album, and I just stole his seat, and he came back, and it was like, just thought it was really funny. And the other one is, I had friends, like, I took some friends up to my room, like, I think this was last year. No, this might have been 2018. And, well, we were getting into alcohol and all of that. And, my friend's wallet looks just like the one I had, and he couldn't find his wallet, and I accidentally took his wallet. So those are probably my 2 favorite ones. It's a hard contender between the first one and 2018. Because 2016 was like, oh, how'd that happen? Like I had like 7 hours and did a full 30 weighted hours of like staff time, and it was just like hanging out with like YouTube musicians that entire time. I even jammed with Toxic, X Eternity, and Mega Ran during the whole thing, sleep deprived. But 2018, like I got the Sonic Adventure show from Jun Sonoe, the Persona Dance Party, which was really fun, and Domino's never delivered to us. I'm gonna say the secret show at the Jam Space my first year was my favorite.
What was the show?
Oh, it's Super Soul Bros, and they were just bringing all sorts of different guests on. Well, yesterday I didn't expect it, but like I was jamming with this one guy in the jam space. He was playing bass with some of my friends, and well, he was pretty good. And we had arranged to practice some songs beforehand, and we're actually performing this later today. And well, later on yesterday at the Forbidden Jams with 8-Bit Music Theory, he'd invite a group to come on up, and the one playing the guitar solo, I didn't notice it until I was talking to him, and he recognized me. I'm like, oh yeah, I was jamming with you earlier. So that was pretty funny. So you run into people a lot at Magfest and you forget people, but then you remember them and you're like, oh yeah, I saw you earlier. Super Guitar Bros, which is funny because I thought I'd say Insane in the Rain, but their closer last night, they did a cover of Final Fantasy VI. It was called Mad Dance. I actually haven't played it before, but oh my gosh, just it's such an epic close to their set. It was also easier to film it because all the tall people came out to Insane in the Rain, and I was unable to get a good shot of it. Last Magfest. What happened last year again? Yep, I'll be back 2021. Shoji Meguru's one. I'd really love to see more Falcom in the US because I think it's still seen as kind of a niche market here. So those would be my top two, and seeing more Yakuza guests would be awesome as well. I did go to Magfest its first year, and I went by myself, so that was a lot to drop for that. But it was still a lot of fun because over here it's so busy, and over at Magfest, it's actually where Super Soul Bros are from, so I got to get to know them even better when I went that year because it was just not as busy. It's their hometown, and it's kind of I had the same discussion with them, and they're now they were now you know how we feel because Magfest itself is near me, but I'd like the opposite experience going over to California to go visit them. So that was a special experience. It's like a 24-hour party and 24-hour concerts with a bunch of family. So my cosplay handle is Dazzling Typhoon on Instagram, also on Facebook as Dazzling Typhoon Cosplay. Wailing Gita is my music Instagram, and then I'm just Dylan Slattery on YouTube. You can check out a collab, Yalaba, the final boss theme on YouTube with my friend Da Music Man. That's DA Music MAHN.
Speedrunning video games. Yeah. I was going pretty quick too. He doesn't like my cosplay. Oh boy, here it goes. Real ticket, man. Oh no! Let me ask my friend George Washington. Hey George, I'm gonna think I'm speedrunning there. Thank you, sir.
Well, my artist name, my name is Nightwing. I'm a rapper. I preferably rap about anime, video games. My moniker is Gamer Not a Gangster. So I'm a member of a Taku Gang, which is a group made by Richie Branson, and I like music. I came from PA, so about like 4 hours of driving. I don't know how many miles, it's a lot of miles. But I think this is my 5th year. I originally found out from Richie Branson because I think about 5 years ago, this was like the first time he came back to performing after his cancer went into remission. And I also found out through IQ and Kadesh Flow from NPC. Yes, the first time I came, I was in IQ Showcase Music from the Heart, and that was the first time I performed here. It was refreshing. Usually, I kind of try to perform everywhere that I can. So sometimes I perform like bars, sometimes I perform like regular showcases. But Magfest is like one of the only places where other performers are closer to like what other content that I speak about or even use as reference. So it was relieving to know like the crowd understands exactly what I'm saying when I say a bar. So it's really fun.
So you'd say that it's better to perform at Magfest versus other places than venues?
Absolutely, yeah. Oh yes, it's actually because the past September I was at Magfest. I performed on the main stage over there, and a lot of the people that were there helping with the music and the sound and everything are here at this Magfest. So it's like kind of seeing them again. But like throughout the 5 years, it's like I keep seeing the same people, the same type of volunteers and stuff like that. So it's like familiarity is nice, and it's like a lot more comfortable. Oh, I think if I really, the first memory was the first year, because when I got here exactly at 7:00 when Richie Branch's show started, and I didn't want to be late, so I ran in, got my badge, went right to the show, and the memory of like he saw me, and back then my name wasn't Nyte, it was Maverick Ronan, but like he like said, "Oh, it's Maverick Ronan," and I just like got so excited because it's like like he's a good friend, but I was also a fan of him, and that was like the first time we actually got to meet. And then I seen so many other people that knew me, like clapping, "Hey, it's Maverick," and it was like a real nice moment. Like, usually I'm the odd one out at other shows that I do. They respect what I do, but it's kind of like it just felt more like people wanted me there sometimes, if that makes any sense. So, and then meeting Mega Ran and everybody, it was a very good moment. For me, like off top, like Richie Branson, like that's been a very good role model and help throughout my career in music. Mega Ran, Kadesh Flow, IQ, Creative Mind Frames, Otaku Gang, like my group, like the group that I'm with, that would be like so amazing to have like as a lineup. Wreck the System too. It's so many people. It's like if I could make a show at a certain time, I'll have everybody perform. It's so amazing. I just actually came from IQ's main stage performance, and he killed it. It was amazing to see. It depends on the topic, because like I think last year was Star Fox, the year before I forgot, and Kirby. Yes, okay. So for me, it's like it depends if the timing of when I know it, because then I would make a song and be ready. Especially if I know I'm performing here that year too, I definitely would. But like if it's like, of course, if it's easy, like next year, we're doing Street Fighter, and I'm performing, I'm like, of course I'm doing it. Like that's kind of like a go-to for me, or like preferably a fighting game I'm very good at with those. I guess a good highlight was like this year is the first year, like I have my girlfriend with me, I have my little brother, and this is their first con in general. And it's really nice because usually when I go to cons and it's like I'm with my friends, but like my family isn't here because only a few of them like anime, others don't, they don't have time to come. So it's like this time I have the best of both worlds, really, because I'm really close to my little brother, and obviously me and my girlfriend, I love her. So it's like her meeting and seeing the people that I interact with, and basically people that are my heroes, and then they meet them, people that I care about a lot and talk about my music. It's like them meeting, like, this is your girlfriend, this is your brother. Oh, okay, it makes sense. I see the resemblance. And then it's like, this is Mega. This is this person. It's like it was a real highlight last night, like everyone meeting, because it was like all love and it's like really accepting. Like, it was really cool. Now, of course, tomorrow something might happen. I might LARP and win the whole game, but I don't know. But like right now, that's what it is.
You're into LARPing?
Not like regularly, but like I think 2 years ago they had a LARPing event downstairs over by where the registration was, and I played, and there was a moment where me and my friends were playing, and I kind of flanked the line and got behind the other team and cut everyone at once, and then I won the game for everybody, so that was fun. I don't think I could get away with that again, but I think it's called Dragon Lair over by where Magfest is. And I might want to look into that and see how that is.
Yeah, because obviously you're performing here, but like the other side of Magfest has so many different things.
Yes.
Anything else that really stands out to you, always make sure to do?
I want to, for this year, I definitely want to see Bonsai Pop. Hopefully I didn't miss their panel, because I I gotta find a guide to find what panels is going on because I couldn't find one. But then again, I was on the move to try to get to certain places. I'm looking forward to seeing Samus perform. I know Kadesh is performing. I know Super Smack is performing tomorrow for Magfest. As well as if there's a possibility of working with the artist, because usually we see each other online and say, hey, you want to work? Yeah, and then just send something. But like actually being in a studio or just vibing out and talking is like in the game room is always fun, like just playing games or whatever. This is like my vacation for the year. Like every year is a vacation.
Even when you perform?
Yeah, like performing is like a bonus, but like especially for Mag to me, Magfest is the best convention, period. Honestly, because you have music, you have anime, and you have gaming, which all coincides in together, and then you see so many people here. Then there's parties and stuff. That's always cool, and the environment is always nice. Like I never even had a bad vibe being here. So it's like really comforting and relieving because most of the time, you live your regular life, you go to work, you have your responsibilities, and you can only partake so much. But like this is 4 days of bliss, not having to worry about coming into work until Monday, and by then you're kind of just refreshed, ready for the new year. So it was a great start to the year. I'm gonna do my very best to. I'm gonna be a father by June with twins, so I'm gonna see if it's possible. It more likely could be. It just depending on how they're doing, the mom's doing, and everything. We can work that out, but I'll probably come back. I'd be pleasantly surprised, but it happens. Like I think Magfest has been at the Gaylord for a long period of time, and I guess a lot of stuff has happened. Maybe the Gaylord is just tired of having conventions, maybe, but I would just be surprised. I'll still come though. If they made like another one, like honestly, I would love it in PA because it's near my area where I live, or New York. But they could have a southern one too. Like I know they have Magwester, they started out, so I would love to see it expand to like the other coast or other areas. Like DC is a very good spot. Like Maryland is a good spot for it to be at though, but for the East Coast at least. But they have a southern one that'd be pretty dope too. I've done this. Magfest is whatever you think Comic Con is and how much fun that is. Magfest is 10 times that. Magfest has, if you like anime, enjoy anime. If you like games, old to new, you can enjoy it. If you like music, you're definitely going to see that as well. And it's a place where you can be yourself and like whatever you like, and it's not arm and a leg to even come either. Like it's very, at least like for a convention that's 4 days, like $85 for a 4-day weekend is really nice. So like have a good time, have a blast, and you're in the middle of Maryland, which means you can walk outside and you'll be in Baltimore. So like there's no losses in it. It's very fun to be here. Hi, for whoever's watching, my name is Nightwing. I spell it differently, so it's NYTEXING. I'm the Gaming Art of Gangster. If you want to find me and my music, I'm everywhere: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes. Just look me up, Nightwing, NYTEXING. And you can easily find me. Or you can hit me up on my Facebook page, on Twitter, Instagram, same thing.
But yeah, so the stewards is also, we're at Magfest right now. We didn't tell a bunch of people at Attendees, so it was a feat. It was a feat. Right here, they're doing it. So we had a bunch of stewards together. We had all sorts of people. We had to clear this room. We had to check everything.